Hey there everybody, welcome to this video. In this video, we're going to talk about how to get work while you're full-time RVing and how to build a business that's going to support your lifestyle. So for the past almost 2.5 months, we've been full-time RVing, and before that, I've been growing my own business, which is a digital marketing agency for about the past 4 years now. And so I've learned a lot of things about how to get clients, which clients are a good fit, and how to make money that is not based on your location or being physically present to get business and to make money. So let's talk about this. How are you going to get clients? What kind of services are you going to offer? And how can you grow your business while full-time RVing? Is that even something that's realistic? So let's jump into this video today. Hi there, my name is Brandon Brashears, and this channel is Business Built for Life. Here we're dedicated to helping you to build a business that helps you to get freedom of location, freedom of time, and help you to actually build the lifestyle that you want. So many people start businesses and then they start having to feed this monster that just takes more and more and more time. I've been there too. There was phases of my business where I was just pouring time into it, and the only thing that I was concerned about was growth and more growth. So let's talk about this. A couple things first of all. I think that one thing that's really important to consider is what is it that you want to do with doing a business that is going to be typically, I think service-based businesses are pretty easy because from a remote standpoint, you're going to be able to provide services anywhere you are. There are tools now out there that allow you to work completely free of location. And the pandemic, one really positive thing about the pandemic is that people expect remote working now. And so this is now the norm, and it's going to be the norm from now on. So there's even more opportunities here. I don't even think you need to be an actual business owner to do this anymore. You can have a job that you work remotely. I don't have any experience with that because I have a business, so I'm going to be telling you how to create your own business. So I'm definitely going to be interviewing people on this channel, and I have a podcast that is getting content ready to go that's going to also interview people that have jobs while on the road, which I think is super interesting. But I do think that building your own business is really, really beneficial for a few reasons. Number one, you can choose what you get to do. You can choose who your clients are. You can choose what services you provide. You can set your own hours. There's just so much more freedom involved. And so there is definitely a time, especially if you don't have a skill set developed yet necessarily, if you're looking to find somebody that could do, be kind of your mentor as you build up strategies and skills around advertising or graphic design or copywriting or like all of these different services that are out there. But I think though service-based businesses are really, really well suited for this remote lifestyle. So let's talk about a few things first here. I think the kind of businesses that I'm talking about are creative service businesses. So you're doing things for a business like helping them generate clients, giving them digital assets, or helping them with all kinds of different things. So let's talk about a few examples of that. I have a digital marketing agency, and within digital marketing there are so many different types of work. And there's so much demand for it, especially now where people are seeing, I can't have only a physical business. I have to have a way to create and sell products online. So I think that is something that's really, really important to consider, that there's a huge demand for this, and it's only going to be increasing because if people want to be in business, they have to have marketing services. So with digital marketing, we have ad buyers, we have ad creative makers, we have video people, we have video editors, we have transcription services, we have SEO services, we have full stack services, so that does everything from copywriting down to doing the email automated sequences and implementation on that. We have people that set up automations. We have web designers, web developers. We have coders. There's just so many opportunities. So if you're thinking of any kind of creative type business, and I think that's in general what we're talking about here, there are some huge benefits to doing this. Number one, the cost of entry is very, very low, so it's easy to get started. With that, there is a lot of competition. Anytime you have a business that has a basically zero barrier to entry, you're going to have competition. And so we're going to talk, how do you actually get clients with a competitive marketplace when you're remote? How are you going to do that? Because I think that's really what people wonder. How am I going to get clients? How am I going to get people paying me? So there's two kinds of things that I think we need to consider here before we even start about talking about clients. Is how are you going to structure your business to get you paid? Because that's ultimately what's important. If you need money to survive, And luckily, RVing and our full-time RV lifestyle is really good from a cost perspective because the costs are very, very low in general compared to sticks and bricks living. And again, it's going to depend on where you are in the country. I talked about, is RV living good for business? If you click on that video up here, you can check that out. But one thing that I think that's really, really beneficial is that the cost of living is very low. So with just a couple clients, you could very easily sustain and have a great lifestyle while full-time RVing and traveling all over and doing things. So that's something that's really beneficial. So two kinds of, in general, services that you can, or billing types that you can offer for your services. You can do hourly billing, or you can do packaged billing or retainer style billing. Now, I've done both of those in the past, and because I am a person who is, I don't like all of the details, I don't like all of the admin work, I hate tracking billable hours and things like that. And so for me, initially when I got started, I took on every single job that I possibly could because I was getting started and I needed to get my feet wet and I needed to get experience and clients' testimonials and things like that. So there have been cases when I did hourly billing and I hated it. So when you're doing hourly billing, in general, you're trading your time for a specific dollar amount, which is transactional. You're saying my time is worth this amount. As you get better at something though, so let's say you are a copywriter, for example, and when you're just starting out, it takes you a day to write an email sequence because you have to go over it multiple times, you're doing revisions and things like that. As you get better, it takes you less time. And so what does that mean if you're doing billable hours? That means that as you are improving your craft, likely going to get better results for the client, you're actually going to be doing less work, which means you charge less for better work. I know that there's more time that you can do other work, but people that are experts, they don't typically charge by the hour for their stuff. If you think about people that do logo design or graphic design and things like that, when they're doing a logo design, if their clients are wanting really high quality work, and graphic design is something that I really admire because I don't have that skill. But if somebody was to come to me and say, hey, this logo is $1,000 and it does everything that you want it to do, I'd say $1,000, that's a lot. How much time did you spend on it? And I'd say, well, that doesn't really matter because I'm using the expertise that I've built up to give you exactly what you're looking for. And in that instance too, the faster that I can get the end product, the happier I'm going to be. So it's really inverse to the thought set and mindset of you should charge hourly. So as you get better, I think that transition needs to happen as quickly as possible, where you stop trading your time for money, because especially when you are doing work where you want to be, have the freedom and flexibility, the ideas that you have, your abilities that you have, as they become more valuable, you're going to free up more time. So once you understand how you're going to pay and how you're going to be billing, I think it's really, really important that you figure out what your services are going to be and who it is that you're going to serve. So I do digital marketing, and I've done everything kind of under the sun within digital marketing. I've done copywriting, I've done content creation, social media management. I really had to figure out what it is that I like to do, and then also what it is that I was good at, as well as what the market actually wanted. I think when you go into starting a business, you're kind of interested in saying like, okay, I think this is what people want. But until you have hundreds of calls and conversations where you're pitching services and selling services, you're not going to really know exactly what it is that they want. So let's talk about a few things that are going to help you to define that. I think first, when you're starting out, if you're just starting out and you don't have a skill set that you say, you know what, I'm really good at Google ads, or I'm really good at Facebook ads, or I'm really good at setting up email automations, or setting up websites, or setting up these systems. And if you're not good at that yet, start with just everything and do as much as you possibly can. There is a bunch of really good info out there, and courses and things. If you are interested in trying to find out who is a good source for courses, I know a lot of really good course providers out there. I don't have any courses right now. I'll probably make one in the future that'll help you to get stuff done. But just building out your skill set is really, really important, and investing in great courses that are going to help you to get where you want. One that I can think of off the top of my head is AdSkills. AdSkills has fantastic media buying courses. And in every industry, there are courses that are going to help you to up your game and increase your skill set. If you're looking at graphic design, I really suggest The Future, which is a YouTube channel that's fantastic, has so much good stuff in it. So it really depends on what it is that you're looking to do. There's really bad courses out there, and there are really good courses. I know because I'm constantly consuming courses because I want to continue to level up my game. You're never at the finish line. There's always more that you can be learning and can be doing so that you get better, that you can increase your prices. When you get better as a business owner, you're able to increase your prices and make more money. So every time you improve yourself, you're making your business more valuable, especially if you're a solopreneur like I am. So I think that that's really important. But start general and then get specific. So do as much work as you can early on and then get specific to a very select group of people. And I'll tell you what I mean by that. So I've done everything from auto parts to auto part manufacturers to like farm equipment to supplements to pet products to workout products. I've done all kinds of different products and clients, software, CRM systems, like the list goes on, right? And I decided that I really wanted to focus in on the veterinary industry because I found that they had a bunch of people that I could target. They were pretty far behind with digital marketing, and so I ultimately chose a niche that was the veterinary industry. And so having a very specific niche has been helpful because I know what their pain points are, I know what their major problems are, I know what it is that they're looking for, I know how to package solutions in a way that makes sense for them, that they're going to want to take my services. And so understanding who your client is going to be is really, really important. So it should either be a specific demographic of people or it should be a specific industry, specific location. You're going to have to figure out who it is that you want to be serving, because when you create and talk content or you're talking about problems that they have, every single industry is unique. And one thing that everybody wonders is, okay, I know that advertising works, but my problems are unique because I'm in this industry. So that's what you have to overcome. And by being a specialist, which makes you uniquely qualified in a specific industry with a specific set of skills, helps you to be able to charge more, helps you to create marketing and content that is for a specific group of people. And so it's very, very important that you at some point figure out who it is that you're going to be serving and what is that specific problem that you're going to be solving for those group of people. So far we've come to, are we going to be charging hourly? Are we going to be charging on recurring basis? And one thing that I didn't mention about recurring basis is that I have more stability of income because I know what my recurring charges are. I won't work with people unless they want to do a monthly recurring payment. And I'll send them out a link to work with me, and then they'll get auto billed every month. That's another thing I mentioned. I hate doing the admin work of following up with payments and stuff. And so having people on auto bill helps me to not have to follow up and say, hey, your invoice is due. I have email sequences and automations set up so that if their card doesn't go through, they get automatic emails reminding them to update their payment info, and all of that's out of my hands. And so ultimately I get to focus on doing the work that I really love doing and that I get to do. So I think that that's really, really important. So once you have those different, specific items figured out for yourself, how do you go about getting clients? So right now, this is August of 2020. There's a few ways that I know are really, really effective at getting clients. And I'll go deeper into all of these so that you have more context in this. But in this overview, I think that this is really good. Number one is you need to create content. People that are experts in fields create content. People assume if you have enough time to create content, that means that you are likely an expert. And so the more content that you create for your specific audience about the problems that they have and solutions and things like that, the better that you're going to be able to attract these people. So video content, picture content, Facebook content, blog content, writing, podcasts, things like that are very, very important. So I started my podcast, which is the Veterinary Marketing Podcast, and it's very specific. We talk about marketing for the veterinary industry. It's called the Veterinary Marketing Podcast. It's not a super creative idea, but It's really, really helpful, and it's helped me get speaking gigs. It's helped me publish and distribute books. It helps me get clients on a regular basis, and I have a bunch of attention from the specific audience that I need to engage with to grow my business. So having content that segments and attracts the right group of people is so important, especially if you're just getting started. Not only that, having content and having to create content makes you think about these issues and kind of define your position on them, so that you're able to then articulate what it is that you believe, why you believe it, and how you can help. So it's extremely important, and it helps you just across the board to think about things and to sell your services that you're going to be offering. So content. It's very important. Another thing about defining your audience is you're going to be able to understand where it is that they spend time and where they hang out. Maybe LinkedIn is a really good audience source, or maybe Facebook, or maybe Instagram. Depending on your audience is going to determine where these people are hanging out. And since you are going to be remote, you're not going to be able to go out and meet people in a door-to-door fashion. And also that's not very effective in a pandemic. So ultimately what the content that you're going to be creating is going to do is attract people that are going to be a good fit to your business. One thing that I think a lot of people start out and struggle with is that when they start out, they think, okay, I need to go sell my services. I need to go sell. And they have to convince people. And I think a lot of times people are really afraid to go out and start selling because they feel like they have to convince people. The truth is that the content that you should be making and that should be generating results for you is going to be the content that then attracts the right groups of people to your business. And if somebody has the problem that you're looking to solve, they'll be happy to find you and they'll be happy to hire you because you're solving problems for them. So instead of trying to convince and sell, you've switched from convincing and selling to a spot where you're now finding if people are going to be a good fit for your business. And what ends up happening is that you work with people who really like you like working with them, and it's actually really fun. So I'm sure you've probably worked in the past either in jobs or had clients where you just did not like them. I've had that as well. If you have something that's not a good fit and you have a steady stream of clients coming in from the content that you're producing, the offers that you have, you're going to be able to fire clients when you don't like working with them. It happens all the time. If somebody's not a good fit for either personality type, or maybe they have unrealistic expectations, or they have overbearing expectations, I can just say, hey, I'm sorry, I don't feel like this is a good fit because X, Y, and Z. I think that we should probably part ways. How would you feel about that? And either two things will happen. They'll say, you know what, you're right, I'm sorry, I've been really under stress, or I've got all this stuff going on, or I'll be sure to change my attitude, and that's happened. Or they'll say, you know what, you're right, thank you, let's move on. And then you're more happy. So the business that you create should really serve your life, and you should be able to find and work with people that you love working with, because guess what, there's so much opportunity on the internet, it's like never before. So I think that that's really important to consider. Another traffic source that I think is good for getting clients is creating Facebook groups. Facebook groups are a fantastic way to generate clients. I have a Facebook group that's called the Veterinary Marketing Nerds. Again, it's built around the veterinary industry, but it ultimately lets me connect with people that are having marketing problems, that want to get marketing ideas. I can then, if you're a group leader, you're then kind of elevated in status and people want to work with you more. So doing these few things are really important. I'm going to absolutely be creating videos on how to set up a group that services your niche. I'm going to talk about how to create podcasts and how to create content, especially while you're full-time RVing, because we have some pretty unique challenges, right? We definitely have noise. You can probably hear the logging trucks driving by. But since being out, I've been able to create tons of content, attract tons of clients, and also onboard a bunch of clients while being fully remote and traveling full-time. So be sure to subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions, if you have any comments or need help with anything, comment down below, and I'll see you on the next video. I think we're going to go into how to create a podcast while you're on the road, because I think podcasting is actually one of the unique mediums that really is beneficial. You probably listen to a bunch of podcasts. Podcasting is just increasing in popularity. It's still relatively new, and compared to other traffic sources and mediums, it's a lot less competitive. So podcasting has dramatically changed my life from a business perspective, and I'm really excited about it. I think that everybody who has a business should probably also have a podcast as well. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching this video. Be sure to hit that like button, comment if you need any help, and we'll see you on the next one. Have a good one.